Hey everybody, this is the end of the beginning. I am a brand new YouTuber and I have to log 4,000 watch hours to be approved by YouTube to become a partner in the YouTube Partner Program, which means that people will be able to find my channel and share my channel. And obviously I want to become big like all these cool YouTubers who take baths in Cheetos and do all sorts of important things that really help the world. So please help by subscribing and watching these videos, and hopefully sooner or later YouTube sees my important content and decides to put me in the partner program. Now, speaking of important content, I know most of you are here for really important content, which is why I'm going to give you this important content. Today, I want to talk about something I'm sure that has been on your mind for a long time, comparing the nutritional content of grapes and raisins, right? You ever looked at a raisin and looked at a grape and said to yourself, which one should I have? Which one will be better for me? Well, today I'm going to help you figure that problem out, okay? This is important content, so stick with me. The popularity of raisins and the amount of public data we have on their nutrition makes it an interesting case study to take a look at it. A raisin is, after all, just a whole grape that has either been sun-dried or air-dried. Typically, it is of the green seedless variety grown mainly in California. This gives us an interesting look into how nutrition is affected by standard drying methods such as air drying and sun drying. After searching the internet for information on nutritional differences between grapes and raisins, most of the information published can be a bit misleading, so I decided to take a deeper dive into comparing them nutritionally. The nutritional data I'm using is simply pulled from the USDA nutritional database. You can find the data for raw grapes here. Oh, sorry, I'm reading the article. I'm supposed to click there. And raisins there. Oops, I didn't click, but I'll keep going. Time ticking. Tuck, tuck, tuck. The major difference between a raw grape and a raisin is the amount of water in the fruit. A raw grape is on average 80% water, and a raisin is 15%. If we were looking at nutrition in terms of weight, raisins would be far superior simply because they have much less water in them. However, the human body doesn't care how many grams you eat. It cares how many calories you eat. Therefore, a better way to compare them is to look at the nutrients per calorie, which will give us a better understanding of what happens to the nutrients when we dry a grape into a raisin. From the table below, which you can't see, but I'll say anyway, we laid out the USDA nutrient database numbers for each nutrient per 100 grams. We then calculated a column to show each nutrient per calorie. Then the far right column shows the percentage difference comparing the per calorie nutrients of the raw grape to the raisin. Excuse me. You may need to scroll to the right to see it. Oh, can't do that. The data shows most of the macronutrients and minerals are very similar. This is expected because drying does not generally change the macronutrients or minerals, and the differences we do see are almost likely due to crop variance that occurs naturally from grape to grape, depending on the climate, soil, etc. of when and where the grape or raisin was grown. The interesting thing to note is the vast difference between the vitamin levels per calorie. Vitamins are often unstable when heat, light, or oxygen are applied. You can see that for all the vitamins and phytonutrients listed, the amount per calorie from raw grapes, if you're still awake, is significantly higher than that of raisins. Somebody really put a lot of effort into this, by the way. I mean, a lot of effort. Boy, for example, a grape compared to a raisin has 18 times more vitamin K per calorie, 6.8 times more vitamin E, 6 times more vitamin C, 2.8 times more thiamine, and 2.4 times more riboflavin. Wow, really interesting. A few of the vitamins and phytonutrients such as vitamin A, lutein, and zeaxanthin seem to be completely destroyed through the drying process, while these nutrients are present in the raw grapes. We don't show this information to discourage you from eating raisins. Of course not. In fact, raisins are much higher in nutrition than most of the processed foods we eat today, and we think they are comparatively a very healthy food. But nothing comes close to the nutritional power of fresh fruits such as grapes. Well, they've made their decision, ladies and gentlemen. They are choosing the side of grapes. This is extremely controversial, by the way. At KOYAH, we would be very interested in comparing the nutritional content of freeze-dried grapes and raw grapes and raisins. These are homeowners, by the way. They got a lot of free time. We expect the nutritional content of a freeze-dried grape to be very similar to that of raw grapes based on what we know of the superiority of freeze-drying and how it better preserves the vitamins and phytonutrients in raw produce. But until we're able to create the powder and do the tests, we will not know for certain. We'll keep you posted. So I guess they're going to keep us posted, thankfully, as these homeowners during such a time in the world where nothing crazy is going on, we get the time to compare raisins and and grapes, and we have the time to create the powder to do the testing to show the difference between the two, even though essentially a raisin is a grape. But you know what I mean? I mean, who really cares, right? So I'm going to read some of the comments below because apparently 6 people have seen this article and they've commented. Someone says, I like raisins in my cereal. What is the comparison of 10 grapes versus 10 raisins? I want to know the direct differences, not per calorie or per 100 grams. Whoa, this person is demanding. He is demanding. He likes raisins in his cereal. He wants to know the direct differences, okay? So let him know. Someone else says, I love fresh grapes, mostly red and black. Never go without these in every meal. Thanks for letting us know. Greatly appreciated. I love how people just say stuff as if we're supposed to know who they are. And we're like, oh yeah, did you know that this person loves grapes? Great. Someone says a better comparison would be to use numbers versus weight. Oh, very serious. Ken wrote that. Someone else says, my friend Aiden said grapes and raisins are the same thing. Thank you for this blog, as I used it to prove her wrong. No, it sounds like you guys are having really interesting conversations, Tim. Tim's friend Aiden said grapes and raisins are the same thing. So he used the vlog to prove her wrong. Sounds like they have a really interesting dynamic in their relationship talking about this stuff. Oh, we got somebody else here. Joy says, I like to eat soaked raisins in yogurt with a little bit of almond butter, honey, maple syrup, and sometimes cinnamon. Yummy. Thanks for letting us know, Joyce. I guess these are the same types of people who post their opinion on everything on social media and nobody ever ends up seeing it, right? Except a couple people that might be their friends. And they think the whole world's seeing it. They make statements when somebody dies. They want to let everyone know that they want them to rest in peace and then what a great life they lived and how they inspired them. Or they just want to let you know what they're eating for breakfast, like in these articles, right? And these comments below. They like to eat soaked raisins. Oh, that's great. I'm really glad to know. This is what you stumble upon when you look up just random topics like grapes versus raisins. How did it pop into my head? I have no idea. I tried to think of the most ridiculous thing possible. I looked around, I saw some grapes, saw some raisins, and I said, what's the difference between the two? No, I have no idea how I came up with it. But anyway, I'm a new YouTuber, so I'm just trying to get, the information out there because I know everybody out there is definitely very concerned and very curious about the difference between grapes and raisins. Not to mention the fact that raisins are really sun-dried grapes, but hey, do you guys like raisins in your cereal? Or do you like grapes in your, let me know. Do you like grapes in your ice cream, right? Do you like grapes in your ice cream? Do you like to put grapes in your soup? I like to put grapes on my pizza. How about you guys, right? Sun-dried raisin, boy. Why don't you guys go to the blog and let them know? Maybe we should just all just fire over to the blog and give our opinion on what we like raisins and grapes on. Even though this person wrote an article comparing the differences between the two, the people commenting just wanted to let us know how they like to eat their raisins versus grapes and which one they like better. So that's very nice of them. So obviously what I'm asking is, what do you like better? You like raisins or grapes? Okay, and on top of that, as the clock is ticking, we're just trying to log minutes here. The algorithm's definitely not listening at this point. What else do you want me to talk about? I do like cats. Do you like cats? Do you like dogs? Do you like mice? Do you like roosters? Do you like mittens? Right? Mittens? What does that have to do with animals? I have no idea. Just popped into my head. Yep. Warm woolen mittens, right? Is that the Christmas song? Anyway, clock is ticking here. I'm trying to think of anything else I could cover. There's not a lot of important things going on in the world, There's if you look around, everything seems normal and perfectly fine. That's why I'm covering grapes and raisins, because the world's not burning around us. No. Grapes and raisins are flourishing. But soon there'll be a shortage of both, by the way. Wink, wink. Yeah, you won't be able to find grapes or raisins. Nope. I wonder why. Oh, because we have the climate change. I shouldn't say that. Excuse me. We need to all have a carbon footprint. Wouldn't that be great if we all had a carbon footprint? Then we could all behave really, really well as far as helping the environment. And then we'll have more grapes and we'll have more raisins and all that kind of fun stuff, right? You see where I'm going here? Yeah. So, ladies and gentlemen, as I continue to ramble here, trying to just get this out to about 10 minutes if I can, without losing my mind. For those of you that don't know, I'm a brand new YouTuber, got to get 4,000 watch hours. Yeah, used to just be you can make a channel and you could be monetized. Now you have to apply and go through a process where they review your channel. Once your channel is approved, they kind of leave you alone for a little while until, of course, they get wind of what you're posting. Unless, of course, you're posting nudes and all that kind of stuff, then you're okay on YouTube. But anything else, that might be exposing anything, that's a problem. So anyway, I have to go through that process. I'm really excited to be brand new on here. I'm hoping to be like the new Mr. Beast or one of these really cool YouTubers that has 50 million subs, PewDiePie, right? I think I have a shot, if I talk about raisins, grapes. Maybe next time I'll talk about the difference between squash and sweet potato. Wait, butternut squash. Isn't that like a sweet? I don't know. Anybody got any ideas? Please, I'm very open to any ideas in the comment section about what I should discuss in the future. I think maybe I've logged enough minutes now, but I do want to thank all of you for helping me launch my new YouTube career. Trying to become popular. That's what it's all about, right? It's all about becoming popular on YouTube and giving your opinion on things like grapes and raisins, and people actually caring about it, right? Grapes and raisins. So anyway, I'm glad we are all here together today and had a great time talking about grapes and raisins and grapes and raisins, grapes and raisins, grapes and raisins. Thanks, algorithm. I hope everybody's doing great. Thanks, everyone. Bye.